Hey, decision makers. Want to stay in the loop with exclusive content and the opportunity to be on the show? Text DECIDE to 218-432-9722 now, and let's get connected today.
God put us here to go through pain to overcome. You have to go through pain. Everyone. Really ask yourself, what do you want? God's not gonna present it to you and say, oh yeah, this is what you asked for. No, he's gonna say, all right, look, there's an opportunity coming up. You're gonna walk through the door. You're gonna go.
Welcome to the Just the Decision podcast, where we speak to our guests about the decisions they made in life, the good, the bad, the regrets, the decisions they're currently making, and the decisions they're gonna make for the future. Subscribe, like, comment on the video, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. And remember, we're available on all streaming platforms. Today, I have the honor of introducing my brother, Simon.
What's good, brother? How you doing?
What's going on? How's everything?
Good. Fam's good. Everything's good. Life is great right now.
Okay, I appreciate you making the trip up to New Jersey.
Yeah, it was a little bit. It wasn't too bad. We're out here, so
okay.
That's what's up.
The way we start the show is 2 questions.
All
First question, what's your favorite dish and from where?
Oh, my favorite dish. Let's keep it simple. Rice and beans with baked chicken. Yeah.
And from
beans.
where?
That's a Haitian dish.
Okay.
Yeah. Sauce pois, some good, some grill, some sweet plantains, platanos, Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We keep it simple. We eat for efficiency.
Cool. And then the second question is, someone gives you a blank check.
Okay.
It's going to go into your checkings, not your savings.
Okay.
Whatever number you write on it, you're going to get.
Okay.
What's the first thing you're going to buy?
What am I going to buy?
Yeah.
I'm going to invest it into something that's going to produce more cash. I'm going to multiply it.
Okay.
That's the play.
Is there something specific that you could think of right now?
Yeah, I would buy a warehouse, commercial real estate.
Okay.
Commercial real estate. And then maybe, some more minors, things like that. But commercial real estate can put equipment inside of it.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that would be the play.
Cool. So let's get into it. What was little Simon like growing up?
Disciplined. Just listened. That's it. Curious, very creative. I guess you can say I didn't really, authority for some reason was hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I mean, not from my parents, but outside, that was always a little bit thing. Education, doing things, I always took action. I was good with anything, came quickly to me. Mm-hmm. No matter what it was, everything was it was like a puzzle piece, and it was easy for me to put it together. So it was just let's just have fun. That was it. Everything, I was just trying to find new ways to just either meet, whatever friends group that I had. It was all right, what are we doing today? We were never really sitting down, Yeah. We were always trying to do something new, trying to see how fast we can run, see, how far we can climb, right? See if we can make a volcano out of mud. See if we could, it was just finding new ways to always do something different each day. So that's what it really was. That's what it was about.
Okay. So in your household, what made up your household in terms of family?
Dad, mom, and 2 brothers. So I'm a middle child.
Okay.
So I got an older brother and a little brother. And I got my 2 parents.
Nice. How was it being? Is it the truth about they say about the middle child?
I don't know. What do they say?
I don't know. But
they say we trouble, or they say we're gonna be millionaires. I don't know which one is. I don't know. None of them come true yet. Maybe a little bit, but we'll see.
Was it Did you have a closer relationship to one or the other, or you guys were like a trio everywhere you went?
With my brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it was. What's close relationship mean? I mean, so we were all individuals, but at the end of the day, we ride or die.
Okay.
All right. It's no call. Right. It's easy, dude. It's simple. But I mean, were we I don't know. We were my older brother's 5 years older than me, and my little brother's 3 years. The way we wanted, at least from my perception of how we wanted this family legacy to happen, was we got to progress. All right, we got to get a little bit better. My brother dove in some things that's different from me, right? Get a little bit better. I did some things that's different from him. And my little brother, man, he's killing it, right? And I know he's doing things way beyond what I'm doing too. And so I see this progression. Like I said, my parents, I didn't say this yet, but my parents are immigrants, right? So they came over from Haiti and are the first ones in this. So I'm the first one born in this country. So from where they came from to where we are now, it's just like upward progression. And that just makes me proud. So it was always like, we were always trying to find ways to do that. But sometimes that meant like we weren't hanging out with each other, right? My brother was doing his own thing. That means I had to do my own thing. And my little brother had to do his own things. And that was tough. And, while we were growing up sometimes, like we go back, my little brother, actually, we had a conversation about this not too long ago. Was that he was kind of mad at me for a while. He's like, you were supposed to be there for me and show me things and do things. And all I could say to him was like, bro, like, I didn't want you even anywhere near some of the dumb shit that was around. So I ignored you. And it hurt me just as much. It hurt you, right? But at the same time, when I see you now, it worked. Yeah. It worked. And he smiles back and whatever. And I'm like, but now we can do what we do now. We can come back, vacation, see each other, and then like still build it, right? So that's that come up, right? Your come up. Your come up is an individual path, and that gets lonely. No matter who you are, family, friends, or anything like that, right? So it's coming in terms with like, are you comfortable with yourself? And are you comfortable with like doing what's necessary so you can get to the next level? Yeah. And that's what me and my brothers were always about. My brother's an entrepreneur. He runs an entertainment business, DJing. Other brother, like my father's a real estate agent, so he's another entrepreneur as well. So we were all just straight hustlers. Okay. Growing up, we were all just trying to figure out how to survive, how to understand business, how to understand money, how to get it and stuff like that. So you can buy cool shit, right? In the beginning, that's what you wanted. But so that's I guess when I think about, I never really thought about that right now. To us, we were just hanging out. But when I look at it, we were running businesses. Like we were doing the same things that it takes to run a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar company. And we're doing that with kids, as like with candy or with sneakers or with clothes or whatever you can find, Pokemon cards. We were doing like whatever it was. We were finding ways to make a move. Okay. And that's really what our relationship was always based on. Nice. So,
what's the age gap between the siblings?
So my older brother's 5 years older, so I'm 39. Okay. So he's 5 years older than me, and my little one's 3 years younger. Okay. So, yeah. So it was always like we were kind of like, once you get to like, I guess like teenage, like your older brother want to hang out with, the middle school and the little kids, and then the same thing. So, but now it's just way different. Okay. Yeah.
Cool. When your family migrated here, where did they like end up in the States?
So when they came over here, I believe my dad came from he went from Haiti to the Bahamas. He had to like get a boat somehow to get to the Bahamas. And then from the Bahamas, he like worked for, I forget how long, to then get enough money to get to New York. Okay. To get a flight to New York. And then, so he was working in New York. This is what I've learned from what I'm told now. Yeah. And then after that, New York, he ended up coming down to Jersey. Okay. And then that's where he planted his foot in.
Nice. Was your mom with him this whole time throughout the journey?
No, he came by himself. Okay. Made enough money, brought over my mom, her sisters, her brothers. Oh, wow. Brought over like a lot of my family. Nice. One by one or however they got here. Yeah. But it was just like I said, it was always a grind, no matter what. My dad did things that makes, when I think about it now, like that is, you got to have a lot of determination. Yeah. And just it's either that you're so afraid of where you were that it pushes you forward, or that something else is driving you, right? I don't know exactly what that was for him.
Yeah.
But I do know that he works and he just works towards it every day. Whether it goes good or goes bad, doesn't matter. He's like, well, what am I supposed to do? Sit here? You know what I mean? You know, let me find a way to do it. So when he did, he brought them over, and we are growing, and the Batrony family, we're trying to become. That's the goal.
That's cool.
You know?
Shout out to Pops.
Yeah,
for making that journey.
He did it.
Cool. Let's see. So in terms of I guess education growing up, we're in an immigrant household. Did you learn Haitian first, or it was English?
So in Haiti, they speak Creole.
Okay.
So Creole is a combination of French, Spanish, a little bit of Italian, and some other language, a multi-language. Because you gotta remember, the island was a safe haven for fugitives, really. Okay. You know? And then also, the island was the first independent Black country in the world. All right? Haiti was the first ever to defeat the French, all right, and gain their independence, and that's why a lot of Haitian people we really like. It helped us understand differences, but also at the same time what we're similar at between, you know, a lot of people were born in America. You can say a lot of people were born in America versus immigrants or versus kids that grew up in an immigrant household, and they all have a different American experience, right? They all have a total different thing. I was lucky enough that I don't know what it was, right? That my father put me in a different school where everyone else around me was different.
Okay.
All right. White. Okay.
Gotcha.
Wealthy. Okay. And I didn't even understand like the way their mannerisms. I didn't understand communication. Haitians were very emotional. We're very like, I'll give you a hug. A lot of other people I knew were really transactional type. I guess that's a better way to say it now and stuff. Not good or bad. It's just different, right? So a lot of times where I would be communicating with somebody and I'm thinking it's cool, but maybe they're upset or offended or whatever it was, okay? But either way, it was, so I'm in a place that's just completely different. No one else looks like me.
Okay.
All right? Some of the Black kids that were in that school were different still from me. So I'm only Haitian in that area or in that school. And that was always just, when I came home, it was hard because you come home and your parents and your father, and they're telling you to be, this is how you should be. But then when you go out into the world, you're like, oh,
it's a whole new ecosystem.
Mike's not doing that down the street. You know, you go, you know, or Joe and, you know, all these other kids. And then sometimes, you know, they rub off on you a little bit and you take that back home and then, you know, it's probably different now, but then get your ass whooped, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, it came from a very disciplined style of, you know, household. There wasn't room for questions, because if I would put myself in my father's shoes, you know, being a father now, I have 3 kids. If I put myself in my father's shoes back during that time, you know, the only thing I could think about is everything could be taken away from you at any time, right? When you're an immigrant, when you come to America, you don't feel like you belong here, right? You don't feel like you feel like you're borrowing, even though you're a citizen. I'm not saying these illegal immigrants, I'm saying U.S. citizen, even if you are. Right? Even I feel that way sometimes, even though I was born here, right? But you feel like you're still borrowing everything. And I know, yes, if we go into like finance, you technically are.
Yeah.
But you know, it's always like something or someone or somehow, some bigger power can always take that away. So you don't have time to dwell. So you're just constantly, all right, look, I have to get to the next step. I need my kids to understand that I need to instill a strong foundation into them, because I know how tough it was for me just to even come here.
Yeah.
And if they're going to survive in a world where they're different from everywhere, from at least the decision-making power, okay? and not to skip ahead too far ahead, but when I say my experience, all of the decision-making power in like the workforce, there wasn't somebody that looked like me, right? All the teachers that I've learned from, I've had one black teacher in my entire educational system. Think about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm growing up thinking, oh, people that look like me don't make decisions. They're not in charge. They're not allowed to be. So that was something I had to unlearn at the same time, but was like scary.
Yeah.
Because it's like, damn, am I allowed to be someone that can make this? Like, can I be that person that gets to hire? And that's why I started my company.
Nice.
Ultimately, I want to hire me that was younger, that didn't have someone that was in that position that looked like him, right? That's what I'm building all of this for. And that's where it comes from. And when I haven't thought about this since you just asked this question. And it's just, wow. It's crazy how God works, because I didn't know what I would, like, there was no plan. Every step of my life has been, again, I don't know, first time father, I don't know, married, I don't know, buying a house, I don't know, I freaking own a house, right? It was always just like, I'm a rookie at everything, okay? And I was cool at being a rookie at everything. It didn't bother me. Maybe it was easier to be a rookie because other areas were like, oh, you're different. We're going to, we know you're different. So we're not really going to fuck with you or not, whatever, So it's just like, all right, if I'm not going to go hang out over here, I'm not going to go hang out over here. All right, well, there's only one thing else to do. I'm going to understand education and business. And I'm just going to figure that out. And I slowly figured that out through, being around just a whole bunch of different kinds of people. So I was never able really to settle into one group. But at the same time, because I was able to see so many different groups of people, so many different cultures, so many different classes, right? That allowed me to be like, and just pick out, just like, all right, cool. I can take that from them. I can take this from them, take that. And then I'm like, all right, let me figure out how to turn that into what I'm going to become.
Cool. So in the education system, your first, I guess, elementary, middle school, were you in ESL or you were good?
What's ESL?
So like the dual language. So like
I went to private school.
Okay, but if English wasn't your first language, you would be in this class.
I mean, English was my first language.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I guess you could say I understand Creole too and I speak. I mean, I don't see it different. I don't see it. Yeah, but no, English was always. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you're in the household you spoke Creole, and then when you went into the public.
Yeah, that too. But my mom always made sure I understood English. But the kids made fun of me because I couldn't say words. I come home and I would say like toilet instead of toilet. Okay. Because you say with your French accent. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like my parents say things differently. You go to school and you talk how you hear your parents talk about, right? But there weren't anything. I don't even know if that existed. Okay. Is that a thing? I don't even know what it was. I
think it was growing up. You're not that much older than me. So.
No, but maybe that was in public schools or maybe that was in different schools.
Possibly.
Maybe not. I don't know. I've been in private school for my whole educational system.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So private school, was it like a elementary to high school? It was like a direct route, or did you have to school hop?
No, it was. Yeah, it was pre-K to 8th grade, and then high school, and then college.
Okay. So, did you go to high school with the same kids as elementary and middle school?
No.
Oh, so it's a brand new. No,
the private school, actually, they don't even exist anymore.
Okay.
But no, yeah, it was a different school. There was one, maybe like a couple people I knew that probably went to the same high school, but it was mainly different though.
Okay. How was the high school experience?
High school was fun.
Okay.
High school was fun.
Were you known as like your older brother's little brother, or like did everybody have their own
No, he didn't
identity?
go. He went to public school.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, there's always been a progression.
Yeah.
All right. There's always been something different.
Okay.
For each of us. He went a totally opposite route.
Okay.
From me. Anything you think about me, my brother's the complete opposite.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Complete opposite.
Okay. So did your little brother go to the private school too, or
he did?
Okay.
He did, yes.
Okay.
So
it's sort of like
everybody knew him as my little, as me.
Yeah. My dad always says my ceiling is your, what did you say?
Is your foundation?
Yeah. So
Damn
you're
right.
always going higher and higher, higher.
Let's go.
It's a better quote or saying like that, but that's exact where I was trying to get.
Yeah. No, I got you.
Yeah.
And I got you. That's right. I mean, as a father now, that's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it means that we can't be friends with our kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it means.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people may not like to hear that. A lot of other parents want to be friends with their children. Our job isn't to be friends with them. Our job is to prepare them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, real talk.
Yeah.
Like, our job, we created them. We brought them here. They didn't ask to be here. Right. We brought them here.
Yeah.
The last thing they need is friends at home.
Mm-hmm.
What they need is someone to tell them how it is so they understand how to navigate life. They'll find friends.
Yeah.
You know, you'll find friends in school. You'll find friends at work. You'll see friends. But when you see when this is how it was, at least I was raised. When you see mom and dad, you see foundation.
Mm-hmm.
You see something that means when you are by yourself and you're the only one with your cultural experience and everybody else is around you saying you suck or you're different or you're not this or you can't get here because you look like this, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's going to keep you there is what your parents did. Was whoever, parents, guardian, uncle, whoever that person is to instill foundation and discipline into a human being,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it doesn't have to be, biological. It could be anybody that does that, right? So whoever is that person, you go to those moments, those tough moments, and you think about that in your head. You say, well, shit, I'm sitting here bitching about this. My dad came here on a boat, coming, flopping countries and trying to get his girl's family here. Not his wife at that time, right?
Yeah.
His girl's family here, right? So that's a whole nother level of thinking, of selfless thinking, right? And that means you got to sacrifice. So as parents, you got to sacrifice. So like what you're saying about your father saying, my ceiling is your foundation, right? For him, to understand that, like that sacrifice to say, I'm gonna teach him everything he knows, right? So he can surpass me.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to try to surpass their parents, and that's fine. It's their life. Everyone's life is allowed to be what they want it to be. But at least for, a lot of immigrants that I know, maybe is it because you come from a world that is so far below the starting line that you're just like, man, if I don't feel like I'm progressing, I feel like I'm dying.
Deep.
But yeah, that's what it is. So it is. It's a lot behind. It's a lot behind it. It's a lot of. It's, to me, that pain is good. I like it.
Okay.
I enjoy it.
Okay.
I enjoy it because
it's like that sort of like a mosquito bite that you keep.
No,
itching.
I don't like mosquito bites. I don't like mosquito bites.
People keep itching even though
Yeah,
you're not
no, I don't
supposed
like
to eat
mosquitoes.
you. Okay.
I don't like mosquito bites. When I say it like that, when I say pain that way, I mean, well, technically it's mosquito. It'll make you stronger. Listen, all pain makes you stronger. All pain.
Was it pain is weakness leaving the body?
Damn right. You have to go through pain. Everyone. God put us here to go through pain to overcome. We all have our own pain. My pain is not stronger or better or worse than your pain, right? Because as an emotional, this is my psych degree coming in, as an emotional thing, right? Your pain of whatever it may be and my pain from whatever it may be, the body feels it the same way, So a lot of times people talk about pain and they're like, oh, well, this is what I went to go through, or this is what I went to go through. And they go like, oh, mine's better or worse. My pain is worse, better, or worse. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, what are you doing? Stop. We want solution. Yeah, we have pain. Cool, great. What are you going to do? Break down? So I used to tell myself, bro, do some push-ups all day. You're going through pain, do push-ups. Why not?
Yeah.
And that was from being in a fraternity in college. I know we didn't get to that spot yet, but making sure, and in high school, when I was in high school, I was a power lifter.
Okay.
All right. I was like the strongest kid, and I won the state champs in Delaware at 16. And my coach really instilled that into understanding, like, if you can't embrace this pain in this weight room, there is no way in hell you're gonna be able to embrace the pain of life. And he said it to me. He's like, you, and he was racist. He was a good guy. He's like, he was real with me. I respected him more because, you can say people like that may be different, whatever. I respected the fact that he could be who he can be authentic of who he is, right? But I still at the same time be honest enough to just be real with me and explain, like, look, you're gonna go through some shit, bro, just because you look at whatever. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
He's like, use that. He's like, use it. And bro, he made me a state champ.
Wow.
And he brought me to levels I didn't know I can get to. So that came from pain, right? I think a lot of great things come from pain.
Cool. Through the education system, you saying you being around majority Caucasian, white, however people want to use the terminology. Was there bullying involved, or everybody was like welcoming to this person that's not like us?
Bullying. I don't know. Is it bullying a thing? I was a bully.
So you were the bully?
I don't know.
To
People
the majority?
were bullied to me. I don't know. My friends tell me sometimes those. Look, when I talk direct.
Okay.
Some people think that's bullying. To me, that's love.
Okay.
Like, I care enough about you to be real with you. But a lot of the other people I knew was like, no, if I'm wearing this outfit and it doesn't look good on me, I'm going to tell you it looks good on you because I want to spare your feelings.
Okay.
So that means that you're being nice.
Gotcha.
I grew up in a world where, like, yo, that's not being nice. How you going to let me, like, you're supposed to be my pupils and you let me go out looking like a clown and whatever. I know, it's different. It's very different. But did I experience, like, people calling me, names, the N-word and everything like that? Of course, all day. But you put a stop to it, freshman year, walk into the cafeteria, the dude says it just real quick, quiet, nothing happened, whatever.
Yeah.
But you put a stop to it immediately. And the next thing you know, no one's even thinking about. And that's you have to face your whatever pain that is. That's a pain.
Yeah.
You got to face it. Or you can run away with it, you can cry, but you face it. And then you deal with it and you're like, whatever.
Okay.
I don't know.
So, seeing everybody's preparing for, like, I guess 18, you're an adult, it's real life. You got military, workforce, or go to college.
Okay.
In your household, what was the conversation of, like, where your dad like, all right, you're 18, it's time to get out the household, or both?
No.
Okay.
There was never a thing. We thought that was an American thing. Like, oh, you're 18, you're on your own. That was an American thing to think. We've never felt that way. No matter what age you are, you're never on your own. I'm your dad.
Yeah.
Okay. You may need to, like, go distance yourself from me or travel or go do different things.
Yeah.
But you're not on your own. Like, I'm not going to be here for you for whatever it may be. That was never a feeling. But at the same time, I want to get out of the house anyway.
Okay.
There was nothing that, like, said, oh, I want to stay home and, like, chill or whatever. I want to get out of the house anyway. And we were all told through school and brainwashed to go to college.
Yeah.
That was the next step. There was no, like, we were told you won't get a job if you don't go to college. Really?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking in high school.
Go to school to get a good job to pay your bills.
That's what I'm thinking in high school, right? And then their parents are like, hey, you got to get job security. That's important. You need security. You need this. You need that. And that's fine, and I learned a lot of things in college. I, wasted a lot of time in college at the same time. Was it necessary? No, I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe yes, maybe no. Could I have done it without it? I don't know. But I did,
Okay. So your option was college.
Yes.
Where'd you end up going?
Seton Hall.
Okay. So what made you, I guess, get apply to that school?
Because I didn't apply to any school.
Okay.
No, I did. That's the way. Hold on, time out. I applied to, like, Penn State, And then I applied to Seton Hall, and I applied to like Mount St. Mary because those were like the only school that were accepting applications the spring year of senior year. Because I didn't know that you were supposed to start that process, I guess, in the fall or the year before, like your junior year. My guidance counselor said, "Oh, you don't need to worry about any of that." For real talk.
Wow.
You don't need to worry about that. The dean at the school's like, "Oh, you need to do something that matches your personality." That's what the dean told me. Even though I'm like 4.0.
Okay.
I'm like one of the smart kids in school.
Nice.
All right, AP Calc. All right, these are what the people were telling me.
Okay.
None of them weren't saying go to college.
Wow.
The only person that said go to college was my parents because their neighbor was like, "Oh, well, we're going to send our boy to Seton Hall," white kid.
Okay.
Right? We think it's a good school. You should probably do it. And we were just scrambling at the last minute. My dad was like, "Okay, fine. Let's go check out what Seton Hall is."
Okay.
And we did. I also went out to Penn State. I got accepted to go there for one of the programs. But the campus was like, for the computer science I wanted to do, or engineering, whatever, it was in like Lake Erie campus.
Okay.
So I go out there, it's like in the mountains, right? I'm from Flat, New Jersey, okay? Go out there, I'm just like, oh, they ain't leaving this black guy in this woods out here. Oh, I'm like, I don't care what the school is. I don't care, bro. I got out there, I'm like, man, this is not it. This is not it. So I left, and then it came down to, all right, we'll see. I'm not going to Mount St. Mary. So we went to Seton Hall.
Okay.
That was pretty much it. It wasn't like some grand plan. It was really like they were the only school, and like I said, the other school that had the open enrollment that allowed people to take in.
Cool. So what was your college experience like?
What do you mean?
In terms of like, was you there for just education? Did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun.
I spent 6 years rather than the 4.
No, I graduated.
Okay.
I graduated, and I got a psych degree with a minor in criminal justice. Joined a fraternity, multicultural fraternity, Psi Sigma Phi. We also did a lot of community service events and everything. We had a lot of fun in college.
I
had a lot of fun. I didn't know why I was there, though.
Okay.
I'm going to be real with you. I don't know why I went to college. I went to college because someone told me to go.
Yeah.
And then I'm in college, and I'm good with computers, right? And we didn't bring any of that up, but that's really, to go back to my childhood, this is somebody that hacked the Sony PlayStation to have it read CDRWs, Japanese only games, or burnt copy games, okay? By basically changing the drive and putting a new chip. Okay. So I got the Sony PlayStation. How did we figure this out? How I figured this out? Right, my dad had a computer in his office. So I would sneak into my dad's office, right, at night. Okay. Go on AOL, internet, dial up, right? So it's about 15 minutes, just 15 minutes before you actually got to the internet, okay? Before you were online. I want you guys to understand this. You get it right now, you're on 2212, right? 15 minutes, you have to wait, okay? And you have to make sure nobody was using the phone, all right? Or you would lose connection. Or if you were lucky, you had 2 lines at the house, all right? So anyway, the thing about it is, between 11 and like 1 a.m., and I'm young, I would go and I would just learn about different things online, from chat rooms and things like that. And we come back, so we would go and I would make, so this is funny when I think about it. There's a place called Ippy's Video. I mean, I shouldn't name the place, but whatever. It was a video game store, right? Okay. You can rent video games. It was $2.50. I know I sound old. Wow. I tell people this shit, right?
Was it like a Blockbuster?
Yes. Okay. But it was just like, but it wasn't big like Blockbuster. Okay. So you get it, you can rent it, $2.50. You got the game for like 2 days, right? So you get it 2 days and you got to return on the 3rd day. So it wasn't really 3, it was 2 days, right? 2 nights, essentially. You can't beat a game in the weekend. It's not happening, right? And a lot of games, you can't beat the games. And I didn't have enough money to go buy the games at that time were like $45. Okay. My dad wasn't buying video games for me. This is why I had to sneak into the office. Like, bro, there's no video. Like, he's not buying $45 video games. It's a waste of time. So it's This is funny. So I figured out how to get the video games for $250, and I would make my own version.
Wow.
Never sold it.
Okay.
Okay. Never sold it.
All right.
I just wanted my own. I wanted the game, and I didn't have money. So I'm like, all right, how else can I do this? So I'll figure out the way to copy it. Okay. And then so I figured that out. You were able to take this CDs. I don't know if you guys remember what a CD, right? The CD had two versions, right? You had a read one, and you had one that was called RW, which was rewritable. Okay, so that means you can burn something on top of it. That was the process we called burn, which is basically putting the game onto the CD, make it super simple, right? So regular games didn't have, the PlayStation couldn't read rewritable disc because obviously people would copy the games all the time. So they needed to make this, they needed to make it where it only read the CDR. So the hack was, I'm going to change it so it can read CDRW disc.
Okay.
That's all it is. Just
I'm
listen.
a little lost
I know
on
you're
all
lost.
that information.
Listen, I know you're lost.
But okay.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you
let's break
what
it.
my child. Hold on, let me finish it.
Make it a little bit more simpler. So there's two CDs.
Listen, this is too simple. Just let me finish the thought.
All right.
The right people in the room that's listening to this will know what I'm talking about, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so listen, hold on. All right. It's just, think about it like this. Right? Let's do another one, right? You have a VHS, or not VHS. So you have a DVD. You got a DVD. You're watching a movie. Okay?
All right.
Everybody knows you can go to the gas station in some areas, get bootleg movies.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay? Those bootleg movies are on different disc, a different type of disc.
Okay.
Okay? Because you need to make it. All right?
Okay.
Certain DVD players wouldn't even play bootleg movies sometimes.
So it's sort of like the Blu-ray when the Blu-rays came out.
Exactly, right?
All
Remember in the Blu-ray, you had to buy a whole new thing. So instead of buying a whole new thing, I'm like, I'm just going to open it up and switch it up.
Got you.
So that's what I did.
So you were replacing them?
Yes.
Okay.
But
allegedly.
Replacing them doesn't mean anything. So then I still got to get the game.
Okay.
Right? So now that process is like, you have to learn how to go. I'm not going to go down that route. That's too wild.
Yeah.
But basically, I figured that out.
Nice.
I could copy the game, put it on the RW disc, and then I had a game for $2.50.
Wow. So this was a website, or you were learning this at AOL Messenger?
No, websites. No, there was no websites.
So there was where did this?
We're talking like kids in China.
Wow.
I don't know.
See,
I guess there was a lot of people, and it was somebody in China. It had to have been, because obviously it's a Sony.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a Chinese platform. I don't know. It was AOL. It was just, all it was just different chat rooms.
Wow.
And then open conversation.
Okay.
That's all it really was. And then after that, it's like you get certain keywords, and then it's like it's up to you.
Yeah.
For you to actually do the research now.
Okay.
Go read a book, go understand, and do these things. Just for understanding of time.
Okay.
This is something that took months.
Wow.
Okay.
This
was sneaking in and learning new information every night or every couple nights.
Gotcha.
Okay. And just compiling it until eventually I was able to be like, oh, nice. I could finally get my first game.
Okay.
And I was excited.
Yeah. So most people in middle school and high school, I was trying to sneak porn. You were sneaking video games.
Yo, we weren't allowed to play video games.
Okay.
So it's
I got you.
It's always that thing. It's when your parents, the thing you can't do, you always want to try to do, you know what I mean? And plus no one really had the Sony PlayStation too. So I was like, dude, I got Sony PlayStation and I got the Japanese games, playing the anime games, and it was fun. It was fun. But no,
Was the game, did they speak the language?
Oh, yeah. So
it was the real game, which is a whole new language.
It was just not American. No.
Okay.
It was it.
What are some of the games that you played?
Oh my God.
Was Spyro and Crash Bandicoot, or?
No, my favorite game on the PlayStation was Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
Oh man, that was my thing. That was a tactical strategy game. I've always been, very analytical strategy type person, right? I and I take enjoyment in the process. I hate winning because that means it's over.
Got you.
I don't like winning. And sometimes I think that screwed me up in business, and we can go down that later, where some people are afraid of success. I enjoy that process so much that it's man, damn, I won. Oh man, the game's over. I want to find a new game to play.
Gotcha.
Metal Gear was one of those games where it's like, man, you're gonna lose. The game was so hard. Like you just, it would take you months to like do a mission. Okay, that like it was crazy. You know, you had to like sneak through things and like you have like one footstep and then the guy knows, pew, and you're dead. Right? It was wild. But yeah, no, that was one of my favorite games.
Cool. So Seton Hall, you took up computer science.
No, psychology.
Psychology.
I tried to go to the computer science or whatever computer program they had.
Okay.
They told me, oh, we only have like 12 students. We don't really want you in that because we don't think, this is me inputting my words now.
Okay.
We don't think you're going to graduate.
Wow.
With just the 12 students, and we want to make sure our students graduate.
Gotcha.
Right? So they're like, my sophomore year, you have to figure out what you want to do. I'm like, all right, well, I always want to understand human minds. Like I always want to know why people did shit. And I think that came from because I was always in a place where everybody was different from me.
Yeah.
And everyone was always telling me that how I'm talking is wrong, or my mannerisms are wrong, or this is that, whatever. So when I got to an opportunity in college, I was like, well, I want to understand why people do the things they do or why people behave the way they do.
Okay.
So I picked psychology. It wasn't for a financial thing.
Yeah.
I was just interested.
Okay.
I just wanted to know why people did shit. You know, why people did messed up things, good things, bad things, right? And that's when I learned about human psychology, the brain, motivation and emotion, drug and alcohol abuse. I learned a lot with my psych degree. It helped me with that. But, you know, it wasn't to like go be a psychologist or anything. And then I did, you know, going through that degree and I'm like, all right, well, let me see my what was it? Junior year, I believe. I think I added my minor for criminal justice. I had a moment in time where like, I was like, oh, maybe I can be like a profiler or something in law or whatever. And, you know, federal something. I thought about it going to law enforcement. It was thing, you know, and I graduated. And then I took the test, the law enforcement test or civil service test it was. I scored pretty well. I got 96 on it. And they offered me a correctional job in Trenton. Gotcha. And I was so disappointed. I was like, that's where you want to put me? In all the places you would use a mind and a person, that's where you want to put me. Like I said, at that time, right? Everyone's supposed to start from the trenches. But still at that time when I'm thinking like, oh, this is the road they told me to travel, and I did it and I'm succeeding at it. And then when you go in, they're just like, oh, we're still going to put you in the trenches. You know, as a kid, you don't realize everyone starts in the trenches. But at that time, I was disappointed, which is a good disappointment anyway. Because I was just like, well, damn. All right. Well, I didn't want to do that. Like, I wanted to go into like something. I didn't want to be around jail. Because everyone else that I knew that was like black or minorities was associated with jail and prison. I wanted to be a cop because I didn't like any of the cops. I didn't like any of them. They beat me in Seaside. They always messed with my family, my brother. I didn't like them. So I'm like, well, if I want to do any type of change, I got to do change from within. Maybe that's why they were like, bro, we gonna keep them in the correction. They're probably like, no, listen. But no, so that was the whole reason why. And I'm like, man, I don't know if I can do that being in a correctional facility. So, or as a prison guard or whatever it was. So I was like, all right, bump that. We're gonna figure something else out. And that's when there were opportunities to, my wife now, my girl, like she was working, she had good opportunity as well in Maryland. So we went down to Maryland. Nice. Went to Maryland with a book bag. And I'm like, I'm gonna figure it out. Okay. And we, all right, so how I want to give this, I want people to know this. I had no idea what I was doing And it was probably not smart, right? Most people were like, you got a job, you have security, just take it. For whatever reason, I don't know. For whatever reason, like my spirit inside of me wouldn't let me settle with that. For what I don't know why. I mean, I wish I could comprehend it, but I just know that it was just like all I knew was like this that ain't it. That's all I knew. Like it was like that's not it. This is not it. Like this is not working. This is not what I was expecting. What I was supposed to get into. You know, there's got to be something. So I went to Maryland, and I didn't know what I wanted to get into. So I go one day, I'm just hanging out, driving around. I go to one of the restaurants or whatever, and I sat by the bar. I don't drink. I got iced tea. I don't drink. But I sat at the bar, and it's funny. Dude, this is how powerful God is. I tell y'all, you better manifest your future. The guy sitting next to me, right? Starts talking. I'm telling him, he's like, well, what are you doing here? Blah, blah, blah. Trying to find a career, trying to work. This is where I come from. This is my skill sets. Oh, I'm a director of human resources for the DOD. Huh. He's like, you want to go for your master's degree? I can get you into school.
Wow.
I said, if I go to school, you can get me into a job. And I was like, damn, I gotta go to school again. So this is when I started my graduate program at Towson University. Okay. Because there was I believe a hiring freeze. This is 2009. Okay. The market just crashed in 2008. They weren't hiring anybody. So I'm graduating college with my head, oh, I got this diploma. I got this paper. Everyone's going to give me. And then we get into the world and they're like, there's no jobs. We're not hiring. Oh, and you go to an interview. Okay. You go to an interview and a guy that's got 15 years of experience is going for the same entry level position. And I'm walking in, I'm like, they ain't picking me. And they didn't. Of course not. I wouldn't pick me either. I can get experience on a discount. Okay. Like, yeah. Right. So the only other way to get in at that time, and I took advantage of that opportunity because one day I decided to just go to that restaurant and sit at that bar. I don't ever do that. I don't do that kind of things alone. I don't even like to. I think but for whatever reason, I did that day and I met that guy. And that guy got me into an opportunity to work for the DOD. I worked for the DOD and I got my software engineering degree, internet application development degree, database management. Cool. And I worked on a lot of different projects for the DOD. And then one day I said, I think I learned what I can from you guys. I believe that I will create something that I don't want you to own. And I left the government. And it was the dumbest thing and the greatest thing at the same time, right? Just one day I just realized that like, I just, this ain't it. Yeah. I got to that moment. And this is like after like 5-7 years. Okay. It's not like months or anything. It's already doing stuff. Okay. I'm like, all right. To me, in my mind, I won. Remember, I like the process. Yeah. Right? Oh, you got the golden ticket. You just working, you da-da-da-da, right? Oh, I won. Oh, this ain't it. I know I can do more. So I left with no plan. No other job lined up. So I left, no more paycheck coming in, nothing else. Not smart, don't do that. But that's what I did, right? I put myself in the trenches on purpose, subconsciously, I guess, or my spirit did. Something enabled me to want to do that. Okay. And I put myself in the trenches. So now this is where it's like, you need to unlearn and you need to empty your cup to level up.
Bars.
That's where that came in. Okay. Right. Because I needed to what I didn't understand was how to play the game in America. I didn't understand business. I didn't understand money. I didn't understand strategy or why people did things, right? What I did learn was that you're either the consumer or the creator. You're either the service provider or the worker. It's one or the other. So it was at that time I needed to figure out who I wanted to become. And that journey of in the trenches was a long one. And during that time, right, getting married, then I had my first child, okay? And then, trying to figure out different jobs, different careers, different things, just winging it. No plan, and just, God, I trust you. That's it. It's real talk. That's the only thing that keep me going. Why not? What else? So you're going through these things and you're like, I don't know if what I'm doing is right. Everyone's obviously telling me I'm not doing it right because I should go get job security or I should go do this. I should go do that. But I knew I was different. I knew, like I said, I was recreating a fucking Sony PlayStation as a child. Not thinking that that's what I'm thinking everyone's doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, I don't know why I was thinking. Maybe it brought me comfort because at school, everybody was always different. So I was like, I didn't think anything I was doing was of importance or special or higher or I don't know. I don't know. I didn't think it was. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's what can be humble all the time or anything like that. But like I said, things just came easy to me. That's all I know. Whatever it was, it just came easy to me. So then we get to that point, and I'm like, you got to start figuring out a plan. Like, eventually you're gonna get to the point where you're just gonna keep just like taking day by day, hits by hits, and you're like, I gotta figure out how to really play this game. That's when I got my mentors. So I got into mentors and started reading books more about just understanding business, understanding money. When I learned about money, that's what opened up the world for me. When I understood money more, why people used money, how other people use money differently, that's when I realized, oh, that's what they meant when they say in the movies, like, follow the money. If you follow the money, you know everything. You follow the money, you will know everything in the world. And people will think you are a predictor of the future because by the time the majority of people get that information, you're already ahead of them. Okay? And that's where the market comes in and stuff. Like, when you learn that, you gain an edge. And that's when you start, all right, cool. And you start feeling a little bit better. Okay, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can work on my business. Maybe I can do, this new thing that it's unknown. And I don't know if I'll ever get paid. And remember, I'm not getting paid during this time. I couldn't do this without my wife.
Wow.
I'm gonna be real with you. I couldn't have done this without her. But at the same time, I never attempted life to say, I'm going to do this by myself. It was always like, all right, I'm going to build a legacy. So I knew I needed to have a family. I knew I need to at least extend my family name. So I'm like, all right, I got to have kids. And so I was extending, at least, I said, one thing I could do for my dad.
Yeah.
At least, his last name will keep going. Right? And that's when, it allowed me to also be different things. And I thought I was just failing and just fucking up, real talk, like at each level. And then you get to this moment.
Okay.
Right now in life. You and I are talking. I'm about to go to the 10X Growth Conference in Vegas for my business to get more attention. And then you realize all of those times you thought you were messing up were just those moments to get you here, to that next level, to that new thing, to give you that little bit of confidence so you can go venture out into the unknown, to be that one person that's going to go to an uncomfortable situation, right? Because I've asked a lot of people, hey, come do this with me, right? But at the end of the day, lions take actions by themselves. All right? That's it. They only take action by themselves. So if you're not moving forward all the time, even if it's just 1%, that's why I would wake up in the morning and say, just want to get 1% better today. That's it. Just want to get a little bit better today. It's a little bit better than yesterday. To learn something else better. And I didn't worry about money, which I probably should have. I worried about money, but money was like the level that I knew I needed to get to after like learning from my mentors and things like that. I just like, all right, I just got to start putting in work and to stop expecting that I'm going to exchange everything for money. Because what I didn't do in college was network. If I would go back or if I would talk to my younger self, I would tell him, you need to go build more relationships. That's what I didn't understand I should have took advantage of. Going through private school, going through Seton Hall, going through Towson. I didn't focus on that at all, really. I mean, I had like fraternity, but like I didn't really focus on building a network for business and wealth and money and decisions to go to do different things like that. I just I wish I did that a little bit better. You know, that would probably be the one thing I'd say why college is good, because it brings a whole bunch of people together so they can socialize, not so they can just go sit there and learn, but so they can actually have conversation, right? Come up with business ideas and do different things or whatever. I think that part's great about college. The diploma part and discipline and learning, I think that's a waste of time. Yeah. Especially now. Right now, if you want to learn anything, you got YouTube.
University.
You got YouTube.
Yep.
Or you go to the professional that's already doing that job and just say, hey, I want to know what you're doing. And I promise you, any professional that you talk to and you said, hey, I want to talk about what you're doing, they're going to want to talk to you. And they're going to tell you things, right? And then you can learn directly from them. So I think education, as we see right now that's happening, is going to change. Yeah. It's already changing. It's already shifting. And I think that's a good thing. Yeah. I think it's a really great thing.
Cool. The way we met, I think the fraternity made a database, and then I just started adding people on Instagram, and then we had a quick connection and a talk over the phone. Yeah. Like before you explained them CD-ROMs, and I was like, what are you talking about? You were like, helium, mining, device. And then I'm like, the next thing you know, I'm driving to Maryland, picking up this device. Then I have to take it to my house. So with the business you created, W3MCT, let's get into that, because this is where your journey got you into creating this business.
All right. So as I've always been in technology, right? From what everyone, has been hearing so far in this conversation, right? Since I was little. Yeah. But I never got traditional training from until grad school at Towson. The only reason I got into that grad school is because during Seton Hall, I was fixing their computer. That's one thing I left out. I was working in the PC department. Okay. And I was doing I was fixing the computers for people, doing the re-imaging the hard drives and doing all that stuff because I need to make money. I think I was making $12 an hour doing that, right? And so I was able to use that to get into Towson. Okay. And then also with, I guess, I don't know how I got into the program, I guess. I don't know. But I got in anyway. I learned a little bit more at grad school, and that was really it. Now, W3MCT came from, which stands for Web3, Marketing, Collaboration, and Training, right? So Web3 is the blockchain. Okay. Right? Blockchain, let's keep it simple.
Thank you very much.
Is peer-to-peer interaction. Okay. That's it. Hey, bro, can I trade you this cup for your watch?
Sure.
Right? That's a peer-to-peer transaction. Okay. That is blockchain technology. Gotcha. We took that process and put it on a computer. How do we put it on a computer? Using the internet. That's it. Okay. Okay? Let's keep it simple. That's exactly it. That's what Bitcoin is. Okay? That's what allows this technology to be so valuable, is because we couldn't do this unless we were in person. right?
Yep.
Now you can exchange value across the world instantly. Or you can put your money to work instantly, right? That is so valuable. People let that go over their heads. And they don't understand, like, before any of this, we couldn't participate in the market or in the games, right? And invest in stock market. If you wanted to buy like, Apple or certain companies, and they were $500 a share, $200 a share, $100 a share, or whatever, you'd be like, damn, I don't have that much money to get one share. So this technology said, well, you can still buy it if you only have $1, or if you only have $10. If you have $99, you can still participate in the market. So then that means the whole group of people that were all left out now get a chance to play. Eventually, within that group, you're going to have some stars.
Yeah.
And you're going to have some gamblers. You're going to have some crazy ones. You're going to have some scammers, right? You're going to have a whole slew of people, right?
Yep.
But there's still going to be some diamonds in the rough that were maybe just below the line, that's been waiting for an opportunity, right? That's what blockchain did for me. So when I first got into it, we were, myself, a whole bunch of other, engineers and software developers and just investors, just a whole bunch of people from across the world said, we're going to create the first, I'm going to use big words now, don't get mad at me, people. We're going to create the first decentralized wireless network.
Okay.
What does that mean? That means we're going to become Verizon, a telco company, right? How can the people become that? So we said, well, shit, the way the internet works, you have towers, okay? You have towers, and Verizon, all the telcos, they put stuff on the tower to make sure you have wireless in your house. You buy a modem, a router, right? Put it there so you have Wi-Fi in your house. Okay, cool. If we can get 1 million people across the world to use our router, this right here, okay? If we can get 1 million people in the world to use this, they can become their own service provider. So what does that mean? That means they can make their money back on the internet that they provide. And it was a long shot. We started off real small with this thing called IoT, which was helium, right? When helium first started, that was a LoRaWAN, which is just IoT sensors. Just sensors. Humidity sensors, weather sensors. What are these sensors? Hey, I want to know what the temperature is outside, right? A sensor tells you that information, okay? Hey, I want to know if the ground has water in it, right? There's a sensor that tells you that information, okay? So that needs to communicate on an internet, on a network, okay? So we tested out with just those small devices first. And it ended up growing from, I think when I first got involved, it was around only 10,000 people. And I think we grew the entire community to like over millions of people across the globe that's doing this. So he said, whoa, we did something. And they did this, all of us individually, not knowing, we're not getting paid, okay? This is a whole bunch of geeks across the world, all right, that said, let's try to do something. And it happened, okay? We got to the point where it was just IoT sensors. What do you see on top of that phone?
This is helium.
Bro, this is 5G mobile network.
Oh, wow.
Okay? Now, we created a 5G wireless network by people, not by institutional. A whole bunch of people did this, okay? That is the power of blockchain. That is the power of Bitcoin. That couldn't be done because there would be regulations. Dude, Verizon wouldn't let it happen. They ain't letting these young people come in here. They're going to find a way to mess it up, whatever, okay? So that's why this whole thing, you're gonna hear a lot more conversation about cryptocurrency. You already hear President Trump talking about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin reserves, mining, all of these different things. Now, what you see right here, this device right here is called an ASIC, ASIC, application specific integrated circuit. This provides security for the blockchain. Okay. So look at it this way. You have a house, and in that house, you want to protect something. So what do you put in a house to protect it? A gate, a fence, maybe a moat, some alligators and some sharks, whatever it is. You're going to put whatever it is, some barbed wire, trenches, to protect that. That is mining for Web3. So people like myself, other people, businesses, you can buy this equipment and you can plug it in and it will allow you to be rewarded for providing security. All right. Because remember, decentralized means everyone's allowed to participate. That's what it means. Right. It's not like, oh, you need to be this person, or you need to have this kind of money, or you need to be in this neighborhood, or you need to come from this school, or you need to be in that country. None of that shit matters. Okay. If you can get the equipment, or if you can put your time to learn, or if you can put your energy to market, whatever it is that you can provide for the decentralized web, it will accept you. And then so that's why people are gravitating to this, right? And to make money with it, you can use mining equipment. Now, this one right here is another type of miner, right? You can put in a house that mines Bitcoin and things like that. You're not going to make like a lot of Bitcoin, but you'll make a little bit. And really all it is you're saying, hey, I'm just going to provide security because these devices do that. That's, I don't want to get complicated. Yeah. They provide security so we can have transactions. And so, yeah, that world, all of that is, when I think about where I'm at right now, since I was a little kid, I think I've been on this journey. But I didn't know I was on this journey. I didn't know it at all. Because like I said, at each level, I thought I was failing at each level. Every single time. I'm not good enough here. Oh, they don't accept me here. Oh, this is whatever. Every single level, for whatever, I don't know why it was doing that. I just felt like something, like I kept screwing up. I wasn't just good enough for that, whatever. But it wasn't that. It was just, no, God put me there because he wanted me to learn what I need to learn from that moment in time, to then bring it to the next moment, to bring it to the next moment. So then now I can create a company. But I couldn't have created a company and do this and talk to you about this if I didn't go through all of those different uncomfortable community situations or different things. Yeah, yes. Was there a lot of nights watching and reading and learning? Of course, you got to put in work. All right. Nothing happens without work. Pain. Nothing good comes without pain. Okay. And then you get to a point where you're like, man, shit, we did something. I was excited. I'm like, damn, we actually did it. Right. So when people talk about like manifesting your future, I didn't really understand what that meant. But now I was talking literally with one of my business partners yesterday, because a friend of ours was just having some issue, like just whatever. So we're like, look, man, it's like, I'm like, what do you want to create? What do you want? Like, what do you want? Like, really ask yourself, what do you want? What do you want to manifest? Right? When you say manifest, God's not gonna present it to you and say, oh yeah, this is what you asked for. No, he's gonna say, all right, look, well, there's an opportunity coming up. You're gonna walk through the door. You're gonna go. When I got this ticket to go to GrowthCon, I didn't know how I was gonna pay for it. But then all of a sudden I got a job, a big job that paid for. Now I was able to get the ticket. damn, I don't know how I'm gonna get the airline ticket. I bought the ticket. Shit, I gotta get an airline ticket. I gotta get a hotel. It's expensive out there. How am I gonna do that? Next thing you know, literally just like 3 days ago, I was able to get someone to help me to do that. It just happened. Had another gig. Boom. Was able to do that. Right? When you manifest, you're just talking. And you're just talking and you're saying what you want. You don't know when it's going to come, but you do know there'll be a time for you to take action. And the ones that take action manifest their future at that time. The ones that don't take action during that time will not manifest their future. And so it comes down to like, hey, you're gonna wear your jacket. Like this is whatever it is you want to do in life. You got you got to decide, and you got your podcast, right? And you've got all the guys helping us here with recording, right? We are all individually right now manifesting our future. So that took 30 some years to figure out. That took my whole time, and I'm still figuring it out. And I'm about to go into a room of people that I know I'm gonna be a small shrimp, not even, right? And I'm scared out of my mind, but it's like a good scare.
Yeah.
It's like that scare of like starting a new game again, right? And I'm excited to see where I can get the attention to bring this to new levels. Cool. And so what I do at w3mct.com is a lot. But for everyday individuals, I help people understand blockchain.
Nice.
Right? If you want to buy Bitcoin, if you want to secure Bitcoin, there's all these fancy things like hardware wallets, okay, that you can use. So you have stuff like this right here. This is a hardware wallet called Cold Storage.
Okay.
And the reason why people need to have these is because in the world of blockchain, when you buy Bitcoin, right? If you want to buy cryptocurrency, you can go to like Coinbase, you can go to like Robinhood, you can go to crypto.com, you can go to all these different, they're called exchanges, where you can buy or purchase Bitcoin. However, you do not own that Bitcoin when you buy it on an exchange. And what I mean by own it is like, just like you have your wallet, right? You have your wallet on you, and in your wallet, you have your cards or your cash, okay? In the bank, you also have cash. You don't really have full control over that cash in the bank. The bank can freeze it. So there's devices now that give you full power, which is you can deposit your Bitcoin into these devices, hardware wallets, and it will store your Bitcoin or your cryptocurrency, whichever one Ethereum, Solana, Crow, XRP, all of these different ones. The difference is you control what is called a seed phrase. Okay, it's just a password.
Yeah.
Right, you control the password. Like I showed you before, right?
Like 15 words.
Exactly, and you protect that. That's like, your same thing, similar as like your account routing numbers to get to your check-ins account, stuff like that, right? And so this will this is like something like where, you're not going to use all the time. Hey, I want to get some Bitcoin or some crypto. I'm gonna hold it for a few years. Okay. And my goal is either to pass it down to my kids or to just save it, for when the market's different, whatever it may be. Or just because you want the comfort in saying, no, I'm in control of this. Right? Because if a bank goes down and your money's in the bank, you're only insured up to $250,000. If you have more than that, you lost your money, right? And that's out of your control. Yeah, some people get bailed out, some people don't. And some people will say, well, I don't want that responsibility, right? I like the banks. I use the banks. I trust them. And that's fine too. Then you can use exchanges, but eventually you can get to a point where you're saying, well, if I want to, save some Bitcoin for my grandkids, my unknown grandkids right now, right? They're going to be like, hey, Grandpa, what were you doing when Bitcoin was X price? You didn't get nothing when you didn't do anything when the world was changing from, cash to digital assets. where you're not participating, you didn't convert any of your money, because they told us to keep our cash. And I'm gonna get a little deep right now. They told us to keep our cash. All right. I tested this. You would have had $400 today, and you save that $400 and you put it under your mattress, right? And you didn't put that $400 to work. 3 years go by, 2 years go by, even just 1 year go by. You know, that $400 now worth how much do you think?
Less than the $400.
Less than, definitely. It's definitely less.
Yep.
Definitely less. Now, hold on, I'm saying it one time. It's definitely less. You have $400, you saved it, and it gets you less. But they say, oh, Bitcoin is risky. Investing my money is risky. Not doing anything is risky.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I'm like, wait a minute. And I learned this late. I'm like, so you're saying if I do nothing, I'm still losing. Mm-hmm. Some people say, oh, well, I'm on the sideline and I'm just waiting for the right time. Okay. Well, the thing is, by not participating, you're still losing because of inflation. You see the prices of eggs. You know, I got kids, right? Eggs are expensive right now. I used to be able to get a carton of eggs for like $3. Now it's like $8, $6, right?
Yeah.
Dude, eggs. The stuff that we need to eat to live as humans, right? To be strong. This is so important that, and you know, people talk about food and all these things, right? And that's the one thing to say about being in an immigrant house. Like my parents never took me to like really like fast food, McDonald's. My mom always cooked rice, beans, and chicken. That's what I told you, that's my favorite meal. And the reason why is because we eat from, you know, for necessity, efficiency, and not for fun or pleasure. And so when you have parents that can't give their children basic foods to be strong, to fight, you know, COVID or disease or flus or common cold, or even just to run, right? To stay hydrated. But they're filled up in sugar, processed sugar. It's literally killing the insides of your body. You know, it's like, well, shoot, what kind of game is this then? Because if I'm not doing anything with my money to multiply it, then I'm inevitably just gonna fade away. And that's where I figured out, I'm like, damn, because I was working, and I'm like, you feel like you just can't, you feel like you're like, you can't catch up. Mm-hmm. You're constantly working and you feel like you can't catch up. You're like, why can't I get ahead? And a lot of times that comes from, if you're speaking, now I'm not talking about spiritually or anything, I'm talking about pure financial right now, okay? It's because we're not putting our money to work. And no one, through all, even my whatever private school education, all that stuff, no one explained anything to me about money. Mm-hmm. Why to invest it? Well, you want to invest money because we know if we save $400, it's going to be worth what?
Less
than. Exactly.
Cool. So, the one person that wants to get into crypto, what's one advice you would give to them right now?
You got to understand wallets. Okay. You have to, because you can't play the game if you don't have a wallet. Whether it's a hot wallet, which is like MetaMask or Phantom. Okay, that's for like the browser. Mm. An exchange wallet is a wallet like Coinbase or, you know, Robinhood. Those different applications, those are different. Those are also known as exchange wallets, right? It's called an exchange because that's where you go to exchange your money, the fiat to crypto. Cool. Right?
And those people can reach you at?
w3mct.com. Or you can email me at simon@w3mct.club.
Cool. Well, brother, I appreciate you for coming out.
Bro, it was a crazy conversation.
Hope you guys enjoyed that episode. See you on the next one.
I appreciate you.